Another great, solid, fun week in Dallas.
Yeah.
I'm going to the game tomorrow.
So am I.
I had to beg for tickets.
You're actually going?
I'm going.
Wow.
I know people that know people
Who
that
bought the
MCs
tickets?
people.
Ryan, did you buy the tickets? Damn. Well, I'm sorry, where's my invite? Well, actually, I'll be in bed by then because I actually, 6:48.
What time's the puck drop?
7.
7? Okay.
Oh, thank God.
Wait, no, 7:30.
7:30, yeah.
Thank God it's not at 8:30.
No. 'Cause there's only one game.
Welcome to another actual episode of Buddies, Booze, Banters, Unfiltered Conversations. I am Rick.
Michael.
And I'm Alex.
Well, what the hell, folks? We have a shitload to talk about today. I mean, breaking news. I mean, we actually had...
I'm here.
Well, yeah.
That should be breaking news.
Well, that you're actually here. Yes, got it.
Okay. My
but
fans love it when I'm here.
The
fans.
fans.
The fans.
The fans.
I
Yeah.
am still waiting to see that fan mail.
It's coming.
Well,
It's.
I just want to see the text.
No, it's in the dock. The dock station.
Yeah, didn't you see it?
Didn't you see it?
Yeah, clearly I didn't because I control most of that stuff.
No.
No, I mean, seriously.
But my fans love me. I know it.
Yeah, and there's no doubt about your friends of 40 years love you. I get it, you know, and I love the fact that they follow you after 40 years.
They
I
do.
mean, it's just-
I'm only 40. After 40 years.
Well, to have the senior citizen crew
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
stick together, root for each other is fan-fucking-tastic. There's no doubt about it. But anyways, obviously we had a different podcast that we were actually going to drop on Friday, which is actually the 31st of May, tomorrow. But that all has changed because we have breaking news today. We will talk about some of our fantastic stuff that actually is happening here in Dallas, which is the Dallas Mavs and Dallas Stars, who are just on the cusp of hopefully winning the Western Conference for the actual... Yeah, let's hope. But we cannot go without talking about the newest and the latest on Donald J. Trump and the conviction that he got today.
Is this the 34-0?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't expect
And that's not a sports score.
Yeah, I didn't expect it to be 34-0, but I did expect it to be somewhat of conviction, some of them actually acquittals and things of that sort. You know, and there was a possibility it was going to be a hung jury.
Yeah.
And actually, I think that's what he was sitting on pins and needles and anticipating, to be perfectly honest with you. You know, apparently when they were called back into court, he was pretty much smug, kind of like joking and kind of like jostling with his attorneys, and they were kind of like, you know, covering their mouths, talking things like that. Well, it didn't work out for him, did it?
No.
Well, but let's go ahead and jump into our sports kind of like updates, because I know, Michael, you are just salivating out the mouth.
You know I'm a huge Mavs and Stars fan because I have tickets.
I do, and they're just so jealous. All right, so who do you want me to talk about first,
Well,
Mavs or Stars?
Well, what I want to talk about first is like, why the hell have we not got the placard yet? It actually has it displayed in front of Michael. This is, I am a season ticket holder for the Mavs and the Stars, and I have been for 23 plus years.
I'm just excited I get to go to the game. I'm hoping I'm either going to have...
I'm probably the neglected one for the once.
I'm either going to have club seats. Like
well,
in
yeah,
a
you
thing.
too, Kara.
Well,
I mean, what the hell? I mean, we're neglected here.
Well,
No,
I'll be in the club level.
First of all, Brian forced the hand. He got all shitty and drunk, and then was like, "Well, can I even count on you?" Literally said that, and I quote, "Can I count on you or not?" Is what he said.
Who did you say that to? You?
He said it to me via drunk text. I was devastated.
Can he count on you to be there or to go?
To get the tickets. We got them complimentary.
Well, who did you blow?
I did not blow any.
I mean, these tickets are not fucking cheap, dude.
No. Well,
I mean, I
they're
think.
not.
I mean, I know this. The Mavs are about $900 at this stage because we're at Game 5. I mean, we're at Game 4 for the Stars. There's got to be at least $800.
So we
$1,600 of blowjobs.
we employ the MC of the Dallas Stars.
Oh, I got it.
So
now.
we know someone that robbed somebody.
Yeah, because I mean, obviously, not only the players, but also the individuals who are associated with the team do get some tickets, and they. I get it.
I'm not even. I'll tell you what. I'm not even gonna get. I'm not even gonna get a free drink.
I
already
am
know
not
that.
even mad about that. Trust me. I mean, that is a good thing, to be honest with you. Now, am I mad about that I'm not going? Yeah, but hey.
We'll FaceTime you. We'll get you a little. We'll put you in the cup holder.
I might
It'll
be
a
asleep
shitty
by
seat.
then, but
I'll send you a text during it.
fuck you.
Give you a score update.
Actually, who are you taking? Do you confirm yet?
Yeah,
Is he going?
he's going.
He's back in town?
Is this
He's
the
back
same?
in town.
Is this the same guy you always take?
No.
No.
Okay.
No, this is a friend of his, and actually a friend of ours that we know for about.
Can we meet at the Jose Cuervo Club again? With
Well, it's not Jose Cuervo.
oh, which is it? It's the
It's Patron.
Patron. Yeah, can we meet at the Patron Club?
Well, but if you got club level,
Well,
Can
yeah,
we meet-
where are your seats? Are you like
oh,
nose,
so
nose
well,
blood?
they're either going to be in the family suite, which the MC gets access to, or they're going to be right below the dancers.
okay, but
In the end zone.
Okay, but if they're the club level or suite,
So
that's
right.
all club
No,
levels.
which is 216 is actually where the dancers are.
Yeah, so we'll be right
Club
below
is
them.
actually going to be 316,
No.
so you're fine. You're fine.
No. The dancers aren't 216.
That's
they're
116.
200s, they're 200s.
No,
No,
they're not.
They're the 100s.
They're in the 100s.
Oh, okay, well, still good seats.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll be good seats.
I mean, are they platinum?
No.
No.
No, they're not
Well,
platinum.
no, because 100 is not platinum. Platinum's in the 200 or the suites.
Can I just say I know Michael? I'm with Michael. Like, what do I say? Do I show him a picture of you? Do I get you a picture on a popsicle stick and be like, here, he's with me right now?
Well, you could probably show a picture or a video from May of 2023 that they're all familiar with.
Which is that?
Well, you were doing a little tumbling.
Oh. I hadn't seen any video on that one.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that everybody in the office has watched
Yeah.
that.
So
and
I
was
think the
like,
question is, are we pre-partying? Are you not even come to the pre-party or the you know?
I
did you
literally-
move? Did you move to Walnut Hill yet?
well,
Or are you still down? You're still down there, right?
I would say probably 95%.
But you're not. Oh, so you'll be able to walk to the pub to pre-party.
Oh yes, tomorrow. I will.
Except
Well-
I can't go there earlier because I'm picking up my friend at 6:30.
That's fine. So
Well, why can't he Uber?
I'm picking him up.
Why can't he fucking Uber?
yeah, why wouldn't he Uber?
I mean, he's married to a rich motherfucker. I mean, Uber is nothing. Don't they have a fucking chauffeur?
Especially when you do the wait and save. So I went to Vegas with my best friend. He hates
first of all,
the fact that we do wait and save.
I mean, his best friend is Brian, and actually, he's off camera right now, and we keep mentioning the name Brian. And
Do you want to be on mic? You should come say hi.
you should.
Just come say hi.
Oh no, because once you move into Dallas, you'll be on mic more often.
Yeah, come say hi. Why don't you
Oh
come
yes,
say hi?
it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. There you
Hello,
go,
folks.
So this is Brian, and this is actually
Welcome, Brian.
This is
Thanks
Alex's
for having
best
me.
friend and also business partner. And they are actually part of the crew and the team and the company that actually does our producing of our podcast here. Clearly, I do like Brian better than I do like Alex. You know, I like
not
Alex.
setting
That's
the bar
not.
high.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's not saying much.
Well, I do
It
like
really
Alex,
isn't.
but I
and
mean,
I'm not saying against Alex. I'm saying just because he likes somebody, big deal.
It's Rick.
Well,
yeah.
no, that really does go a long way in some circles. Some circles. I won't say necessarily in this circle, simply because you're
what
like,
circles?
yeah, we'll take that offline. But I mean, the exciting thing about Brian is that you're moving to Dallas, right?
Yep. Been
I
in,
mean-
been in Denver for 5 years now, and then now that the business is doing well, I'm planning on coming back at the end of the
I
year.
mean, like I said, I like Brian better than I like Alex. So I'm
You've said that
really
before.
fucking looking for that. I mean, excited about having you here.
It'll be nice
you
to be
know?
back, except for the heat and humidity and all
Well,
that,
you know,
that
that's
stuff.
what ACs are for.
Yeah.
You know,
or
as
the
long-
tornadoes?
Or those too.
Well, actually, most people don't realize this, or maybe they do. We just came off a tremendous amount of storms that actually occurred over the last 40, 72 hours that also included hurricane-level winds. I mean, there's
And a lot of damage in the city.
There's
of
tremendous
it.
amount of damage. What I find extremely
And a lot of people out with that electricity.
that's where I find it extremely interesting because majority of the actual resident areas that are actually out with electricity or they have down lines or they have like damages is in all the rich people's houses. You know, I'm not saying there's some sort of like oxymoron.
Little bit of boonies, too.
You know, I mean, somebody's working up there, you know, and I'm not a believer, but somebody's working up there, you know, and let's hold them accountable for it. But I mean, great. It's great to have you, Brian, here today. First of all, you're here for like the week, but I mean,
Yep.
to have you here permanently is going to be exciting about it. Hopefully, you're sitting in that chair more than Alex is.
It'll definitely make for better conversation.
It
and everything.
will. It
Everything.
definitely will. I mean, you know,
Alex, I'm rooting for you. You and I will have our own side.
I do root for Alex. But, sometimes, give me a break here. I do think the banter that I can get with Brian is going to be a lot more because Alex had the tendencies like he picks up his phone, he starts, fiddling on his computer, It's like, dude, we're on the fucking podcast. We're sitting here talking to the fucking camera. Talk to us. Don't ignore us.
Yep.
So I'm definitely looking forward to that. But I'm glad you're here, and I look forward to actually having you more on screen here.
I definitely look forward to it also.
Awesome.
Can't wait.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
But let's kind of jump into it, Mike. I know that you want to talk about your sports teams. Let's talk about how Dallas is on the precedent of literally something that has never, ever. Well, first of all, it hasn't actually happened.
No.
Here in Dallas, where we actually have two of the actual major sports teams are actually in the finals, a level of finals,
Yep.
the Western Conference here, and that is the Dallas Stars as well as Dallas Mavericks. But also, both of them have the potential to actually go into the finals, Stanley Cups, as well as the NBA Finals. Michael, you want to jump on that?
I will. And I will start with the Stars. And it's like both Stars and Mavs are not making this easiest for we
Not
just
the
do it
fucking
8.
all. What
yeah,
is
but
up
the
with
stats
that?
are in their favor, right? No team has ever come back from a
but
three.
I just say there's
No, they're favored.
Who?
The Mavericks and the Stars.
They were the favorite the last time they fucking lost.
But statistically, they should have
Well,
no problem.
Statistically,
Okay.
they should have won 2 days ago.
All right, well, let's start with the Stars.
And how
Let's
many
start
points did they lose?
Let's start with the Stars first. Because the Stars
Last night was
basically
atrocious.
were the number 1 seed in the Western Conference. So they are the favorite in this conference. And games
There's 2
one,
teams in the Western Conference now.
I know.
Sure, they're the number 1 seed.
Well, they've been the number 1 the whole entire time.
Yeah, but now
They're
there's
in-
2 teams are, of course, the number 1.
Right.
But Stars lost game 1 at home. They came back, won game 2.
Well, game 1 was pathetic.
It was. I wasn't there. I gave my tickets to a couple of people, and they just.
Well,
Bad
maybe you're the
luck.
problem.
And guess who is my brother
I was there
and
one
Rick?
Was this the night where your phone was dying?
Yes.
So that was a blast. I was in Las
literally,
Vegas.
we're sitting
and
here texting back and
listening
forth,
to
and for
your-
whatever fucking reason, my phone went from 93% down to 0. My phone died at the game. I wasn't looking at porn. I wasn't
Maybe
playing with
did you
memes.
turn off the porn in the background though when you were done?
No, you don't know me. I actually have nothing running in the
Turn
background.
off the grinder.
I have nothing. I have nothing in the background for me, ever. So I don't know what happened.
So then they won game 2 at home, went to Edmonton, won game 3. So they're up 2-1. They played last night. For the first 10 minutes of that game, they looked awesome. They were up 2-0. Should have been up 4 because they missed some wide open shots or whatever. And then Edmonton scored 2 in the first period, tied it up. 2 in the second period, went up by 2, and then had an empty net in the game, and so we're lost 5-2. So the series is tied 2-2. So now it's the best 2 out of 3.
Which they had a chance to actually.
And so, they still have the shot. 2 of the 3 games will be in Dallas. And matter of fact, Game 5 is here tomorrow in Dallas. And those are the games where Alex, you and y'all are going to be there. So we need to
That's
root 'em on, Brian. So on that one, it's it's just we could have won last night, been up 3-1
Yeah.
and all this stuff but it's 2-2. All we got to do is win 2 of the next 3, and we're going and when 2 of them are going to be in Dallas or whatever. And Dallas
Nice.
usually does play well on the home.
I'm
All right,
excited.
so we still got a great shot there. Then we got the Mavs. They won game 1 in Minnesota, won game 2 in Minnesota. They
Yep.
came here and played game 3 in Dallas and kicked their ass.
Boom. I'm going to game 4.
It was the awesome.
I'm going.
No, you're not.
Yeah, I am. Why not?
Because
Game
they've
4's
already
done.
played game
Oh,
4.
I'm going to game 5.
No, you're not.
Nope.
Oh.
That's away too.
Oh,
That's
okay.
tonight.
Oh. I was trying to make you jealous, Rick. Sorry.
No, it's not going to work. I know the damn schedule,
So
and I'm half listening.
So but after game 3, it was just okay, we're up 3-0. There's been no team that has ever lost a series after being up 3-0 in the NBA or whatever. We lost game 4. It's we did not play well.
Right.
And so game 5 is going on right now. So if you see me looking at my phone, I will, because now, at this moment, they're still in the first quarter. Mavs are up 16-10.
Oh, well, let's get a live show.
If
going.
Mavs win tonight,
It's done for this series.
And then they're in the NBA finals
Finals.
playing Boston.
Yeah.
Now listen to all my fans because it's just like
Oh, here we go.
I mean.
This is fans.
I have people that tell me, which would you rather win? Would you want to win on the road or would you rather win it at home?
I just want to fucking win.
I don't care. I want to win. It's like some people think it's like
What's the difference?
These are the people that don't know much about sports, but they think
Fucking win.
It should be home. You should be home, and that way everybody can be all excited and
They
jump
can
up
win
and
it.
down.
They
Everything
can,
else is.
Well, they can win in
And
fucking
it's
wherever
fi-
town they are.
And it's fine if you're playing the game at home, then win it at home. But if you're also on the road and have a chance to win it, you better win it because there's no guarantee you're going to win it at home.
There's never a guarantee of
In
anything.
sports, everything is momentum.
Oh my gosh, is it?
Well, it's momentum.
When you
it's
have the
energy, it's sometimes luck. There's no doubt about it. Because I mean, a team member of the other team could just simply fuck up. I mean, mistakes happen. I mean, this is like the pressure is on these team players. You know, the fact that they're professionals doesn't make the the fact that they don't actually are not under pressure. I mean, it's luck.
Because I've seen so many sports over the entire history of my life or whatever that anything can happen is you win when you can. So like tonight, we're playing Game 5. If the Mavs win, we win the series 4-1.
Alex, that's away.
That's a way. Yeah.
Minnesota.
Well, what
But-
game was it? Ryan, do you know which game it was that we were watching? I placed that big bet and pulled out early.
Yeah, they were here. We were at the
Game
fucking
three.
game.
3. Yeah, so game 3.
We were here at the game. I text you.
Yeah, game 2.
I
No,
text
it'd
you.
been Game 2.
I text you. It's like, hey,
Yeah.
Did you bet?
No, so I had bet. I put a ton of money on it. The Mavs were up. It was like Alex was going to win plus $250, whatever. I chickened out, pulled out, which was fine, whatever. But then they
500 out
won.
eventually, right?
Well, they won at the buzzer, right, or the last 3 seconds, I think it was. The
That was game
3-pointer.
2.
Yep, and it would have won like $1,500 or whatever. But because I chickened out, I only got $250.
Oh, wait a minute. I didn't hear this part. You fucking pulled out?
Yeah, I pulled out. Yeah, I was waiting for original content. So here
Do
we
you
are.
always
See?
pull out?
Oh, I always pull out.
So like tonight, it's like okay, Mavs win it.
Right.
Because if they lose, then they come back here for Saturday for Game 6.
This Saturday?
Yeah.
Oh, well, what are we doing Saturday night?
Which we don't want them
Well,
to play.
How are you going to get tickets?
After the bitch, don't worry about how I'm getting tickets.
Because
I'm sorry. Let's kind of back up to a couple of podcasts before. It's like, let me just check my phone. I didn't get an invite. Yeah, now it's like, bitch, don't ask me how I'm going to get tickets.
Because if
Somebody's a little
because
confident.
then they would come back for Game 6, and anything can happen on any game, and it's like it's a must-win for the Mavs. But if Minnesota wins that, then you go back to Minnesota for Game 7, and anything can happen in Game 7. So it's like I don't care. I want win, whether it's here or there. Just win.
Let's kind of talk about the Mavs at the moment before we jump on the Stars here, though.
We already talked about the Stars.
Okay, we'll talk about the Mavs. But I mean, we can talk about the Stars again, to be perfectly honest with you. But let's talk about the Mavs specifically. I had a conversation earlier today specifically about Luka. And somebody was talking to me, he's like, don't you think he's being a little bit arrogant? Don't you think he's like thinking that he is the team? And I literally had this discussion with somebody. He's like, no, you're not getting it. It's like, yes, a couple of years ago, you would actually say that, yes, he's arrogant. He's immature. He's really being like, stupid when he's out there making mistakes and all that. It wasn't until Kyrie, who actually came here as also an aloof, egotistical, smartass, I'm the best type shit that actually since sliced bread. That once he came to the team and they were here together about a year, I think it was, right?
Yeah, they came here
Midway
during last
year.
year.
The cohesiveness that they're actually doing nowadays. I mean, first of all, let's be honest with you, folks. Anytime that you're in a professional sports team, arrogance is a part of winning.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what you say. I mean, you can sit there and say, like, oh, these fucking $40 million people who are arrogant and they think they should be. Yes, that's why they fucking win in the first place. But the fact of the matter is, Ari and Luka are meshing so goddamn well right now.
They got the best teams.
Stats-wise, I mean, everything. So I say this out to anybody out there. It's like, yes, Luka is a hard-headed son of a bitch, immature son of a bitch. There's no doubt about it.
18-17 Mavs
But
in the
I will
first
also
quarter.
say Kari has actually mellowed him out.
Yeah.
I will also say that all the team members associated with the Mavs also mellowed Kari out. And that is how we have become a cohesive team. I mean, the fact that they did the trade and we get our slam dunker in there, who is now coming back today, is a perfect example how the team is finally working together. Anybody who watches it, especially live, if you're in the arena and you're watching it live and you're seeing the passing and the teamwork that's actually happened on the court,
Right.
you cannot deny it. This is a team that deserves to be where they are today.
They do.
I agree.
Period.
Win tonight. I don't want a game 6.
Yeah, well, he doesn't because you'll be out of town.
No, I won't. I'll be there
Sunday?
Saturday.
Saturday.
Is y'all's trips coming up?
Yeah.
Yeah, I leave Saturday to
This
Atlanta,
Saturday.
and then Monday we both fly. Differently. I fly from Atlanta. He flies from Dallas to DR.
Nice.
So
Yeah. No, I'll make.
we will do a episode which will not be as professionally done. We'll be sitting with more cocktails and probably like the scene of like a I don't know, the ocean or some exotic shit going on in whatever
Right.
DR is, and the audio will be a little bit limiting, but oh well.
So
Nonetheless, it'll be a good time.
yeah, because Mavs win tonight. It's done. I don't want to go to the game on Saturday.
The Mavs need to finish tonight
Yes.
because that's exactly what it should have been happened 2 nights ago.
Yes.
I mean, they got sloppy 2 nights
Yeah.
ago.
I mean, you have a bad game.
No, again, I mean, I get it. I mean, I'm not upset.
I mean,
I'm not
and
like
again,
pissed
for the
off.
Timberwolves, it's win or die, so they're having to do everything. I mean, put everything on.
You know what I find very ironic about the Minnesota specifically is where did the Dallas Mavs come from?
Dallas.
Why
You're
did
confused.
Yeah, I don't get the. Is there?
Oh,
is
you're
there
good.
a-
Yeah,
the
see,
what?
You're talking about the Dallas Stars.
Yeah, I am. I'm
The
sorry.
Dallas Stars used to be the Minnesota North Stars.
Yeah.
Man,
I-
that was
I
a
should have-
shitty segment.
Well, no, it should have
He
been.
doesn't know a lot about sports. He's getting better at
no,
it.
Actually, I don't know about more the historical
I'm a
perspective of
huge
each of the
Mavs and
teams.
Stars fans because I have tickets.
And you should know that.
Yes, I have tickets for the last 23 years. And if you piss me off, you can't go.
True.
Well, it does take a lot to piss them off. Yeah.
24-18 Mavs right now.
I keep trying to update. 22-18 is what I got.
I got 24.
You got 24. I have 22. 18. Mine. That's what,
Well, it's
Yeah, I
on
mean-
my phone, and so it's
Well, I'm
24.
on, I'm on Google. I mean, I don't know.
3:17 left in the first quarter.
What are you on?
ESPN games.
yeah,
game
you have 24.
cast.
All right, 24-18
Brian
now.
uses score. Is he using score?
Yeah, it kind of goes back and forth. It's kind of crazy how it does that. Sometimes it increases, deducts. I don't know.
And then just one other thing where it's like some of these very, very close games, it's like you're watching it on whatever, DirecTV, satellite, or whatever, but there's usually a delay. And so,
Well, that's usually network TV, but
Well,
and TNT.
but so sometime, I mean, it depends how much the delays are. So sometimes I get on my
Well,
ESPN.
clearly Google's delayed.
Sometimes
well, it's a
I
real
get,
problem, especially when you're betting in real time, like what Brian and I do.
Exactly.
because it's like sometimes I'm on my 20,
See, I got 20
27-18.
I got 24-18 still. You got 27.
And then it's
Right.
like on this ESPN game cast app, it seems like it shows it quicker.
Right.
So it's like some of these games
Yeah, but
that have
there-
been for
but-
the Mavs or whatever that
But
have
there's
been.
no delay because even though there's actually a different call that actually says an error, the backtracks it. That's not actually taken into consideration.
But that's a big
30 to
problem.
18. 30 to 18. Go
Yeah.
30.
Mavs.
It says
It's kind of
22.
weird. So I'm still at 24
So,
and 18 on my app.
Right.
but the point was I was saying is I'm home. Okay, if it's like a road game, I'm home watching the game. Then I pull out my ESPN app
He
just
pulls
to
it
kind
out.
just to kind of look at it, just see what's going is, because then it's like I will see the
just made
score.
Brian
I'll see a
blush.
score change before I see it on TV. So then it's like, and
I
it's
pull it
all
out
been,
and I
and so
score
far it's
first.
all
He
all the
literally is
times it's
blushing.
been for the Mavs. It's been
I pull it out and score
Yeah.
first.
Hold on one second. All right, Michael, go ahead. What were you saying?
He pulls it out and scores first.
But I'm just saying is sometimes I'm watching it on TV, but I'm going to this app so that way I get it quicker, and then
I'm
that
still
way
at 27-18 versus 30-18.
I'm 30-18.
I know,
because there was one time because it's like the one
Which means
where,
there's a penalty. There's a 3-shotter.
because
Right.
when Luke
Or a
because
penalty
the
and a
game
one.
where you pulled out and missed $1,500, and Luka hit the 3-pointer. I'm watching it on TV, and then it's like on my app. it goes, oh, he hit the three-pointer, and I'm jumping up and down, and it
Right.
hasn't done it on the TV
And the
yet.
interesting thing about that particular score that he did, that was actually what prompted the conversation I had earlier today about Lucas specifically. There's like, well, he was in the press conference, it's like, I did what I had to do. It was like, and he did.
Right.
I was like, what are you taking offense for that for? He did what he had to fucking do. Get over it. He did a three-pointer from midcourt. Hello?
Now, I can tell you right now in this game, I'm feeling good because
Okay,
we're
I'm
up
at
12.
13-18 now.
We're up 12 right now.
Yeah,
Still
but,
first quarter, but anything can
first quarter.
happen because when Game 7 between Denver and Minnesota, Denver was at home. They were up 20 points in the third quarter, and then Minnesota went on a 54-24 run and went up by 10 points. So, no, in the NBA, you got to keep going because a 20-point lead can disappear just like that. So, all right. So that's my sports stuff.
Sweet. Now let's talk about that 34.0.
It was.
Shit. So if anybody has not heard as of breaking news today, which actually is May 30th, right? May 30th, 2024, we actually have some breaking news where actually, for the first time in history of the United States of America, a former president has been convicted of felony charges. Not just one, not just two, but 34 of them, unanimously of the entire 12-person jury. And yes, I get it. It's supposed to be like the blue state or the liberal state of New York or the city of New York City that he likes to classify as like an extra arm of the President Biden's DOJ, which, dude, DOJ federally and DOJ state don't talk to each other like that. I mean, matter of fact, they should do better in talking because they don't actually pass the documents off. Because if you look at the case specifically in relation to the federal charges that actually, what his name is, the federal guy, the special counsel, Jackson or whatever.
Smith.
Yeah, Smith filed. I mean, he didn't pass that information on. So, I mean, seriously, guys. So let's talk about what the ramifications are we anticipating. So, Mike, I mean, obviously, we've talked about this particular Hush case. I fucked a porn star. I was
wondering when you're going to take a breath. There it is. Jesus Christ.
I fucked a porn star. I'm running for president in 2015. I don't want this to come out because, I fucked her when my wife was actually giving birth, to my fifth child. And, well, what the hell, but whatever. I mean, I don't want it to come out because I don't want her to know. I don't want it to come out because I don't want to not win the election.
Right.
Because the females in the actual electoral will not like me. Mm-hmm. Well, okay, I get it. I get the fact that politics plays politics.
Right.
And I get the fact that there's always going to be these particular like nuances that actually tries to cover up things. Mm-hmm. It is what it is. You fucked her, you tried to cover it up. It's that simple. And the fact of the matter is, like, whether he is credible in your mind or not, or in jurors' mind, because clearly in the 12 jurors and the actual alternatives, he was actually credible.
Right.
Yes. Mm-hmm. He actually did the payoff. He also got disbarred for it. He also went to jail for it. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, you can sit here and say whatever you want to say about Michael Cohen. Bottom line is, the idiot who was your, cutthroat go-to fixer for the last 10 years prior to you actually running for president in 2015 paid the girl off simply because you can't keep it in your fucking pants. So what do you think the take is on that for 34 counts of felony? I mean, first of all, it's 30 days.
It has nothing.
First of all,
wait a second. No, it doesn't have nothing to do with sex.
Well, no, it's never about sex. Oh, never about sex. I mean,
that's not what the charges were.
No, it's
It
not.
was about the money.
Well,
the hiding of money.
Well, you say it's not about sex, but I mean, let's be honest. I mean, Stormy Daniels was no hold bars. Like,
he could have sex with her all the time, and it would not made a difference.
But
no charges would have been filed.
We cannot play down what Stormy Daniels said on the stand. He did not perform very well either. So, I mean, it just literally, it is just who the man is. He never performs. whether it's in business because he's got a $500+ million judgment against him in fraud for his company.
Right.
He's got a $93 million judgment against him in a sexual assault of E.J. Carroll, whatever her name is. He's got 34 counts that are against him. And he's just a shitty fucking president that he was for the 4 years that he was actually in office. The guy cannot fucking perform. So I don't know. Can he get it up at all?
I don't know. You have to ask his wife or his mistresses. I have no idea.
Was that like shooting in a can, or like what those like, like whatever they do, like donations?
Keep going.
Donations.
Keep describing it.
Donations. Donations.
I mean, today was a sad day because we have a former president that's been indicted on 34 counts.
A former president who's never been president.
Well, but I'm just saying
the historical,
okay, whatever. But
the
he
history
was
of this
the
guy should never have allowed him to be president.
He was the president. I'm going
to grab. I have no problem grabbing women by the pussy.
Well, that's who he is, and whether we hold him accountable for it, that's the people and voting on him or whatever. But when today when the verdict was being read, I was out running some errands and I ran home and turned on TV and I had a couple of people that really just didn't follow everything, and then on this stuff is.
You had one person here who may not have followed it, but follows us on the podcast and knows exactly what we say in the podcast.
But it's regardless of what
which I actually want him on the podcast one day.
Okay, but what I'm saying is that people that don't follow Trump a lot, they basically look at it. Well, all the politicians are corrupt and everything else is, and so it should happen to everybody. Well, it's like
So can I ask a question before you actually finish that sentence?
Yeah.
Wait for him to answer.
No,
that was a question.
Why does that individual that you're specifically talking about post things that are pro-Trump then?
I don't know exactly who you're talking about.
Oh, you know who I'm talking about.
No, I'm not. No, I really don't. Don't give me that look. I have no idea what you're
I'm
talking
not
about.
going to say names because obviously I want him on here.
What does the first name start with?
A.
Okay. Well, but I'm just saying is they both were there listening to it.
Okay, yes.
And it's like, and then it's like, well, it should be everybody that's doing it, and they should all be doing it or whatever. And I says, okay, I
agree with that.
And
I
that's
agree
what
with
the
that.
majority of people are going to do.
No, I agree with his point.
But I was trying to tell him is it's like the one thing is he goes to the extreme.
But
and
no,
it's like they all should, but it's hard to indict and convict.
But my question to you, Michael,
convict.
though, is my question. I agree with that statement. Yes, politicians do that, and all across the board. But what I have seen in that individual who has actually made that statement to you has posted negative things about Biden and positive things about Trump. So how do you differentiate between what is good and bad? And I love this guy.
I'm just saying that used to be politics. Trump has changed the politics to a different level.
And he's probably going to realize now, if he actually listens to the podcast all the way through, this is not somebody from our generation. This is somebody of a much younger generation. Which actually scares me.
But I'm just saying is in the simplified way or whatever, people that don't follow it, and it's like they're not going to see the seriousness of what happened or whatever.
Right.
They're going to say it's like everybody else did it. I followed as much as I could about the trial or whatever. I mean, they did have a lot of support for it and everything else, and it proves it by him being guilty or whatever. But what was funny was after the verdict and after a little bit, I turned it on to Fox News just to see what they were saying, just to get a different
Propaganda
perspective.
news.
And they're talking about like Pecker, they're Cohen, how they're so corrupt.
No pun intended.
And how they lie, and they've been convicted, and all this other stuff is. And I look
Actually, Pecker hasn't.
Well,
It's kind of funny. My Pecker hasn't been convicted.
He signed what? The thing to
NDA, but I mean,
he signed.
Well, actually, for immunity.
He signed the immunity or whatever.
Well, clearly, what he did was not as bad as like
35-19.
The asshole paid the money.
But so I was like, you're around a bunch of corrupt people. But then I look at this, it's like, well, these were all Trump friends at one point. Even Cohen was.
Right.
And it's like they're just making it sound like Trump is such a Boy Scout, whatever. And it's like, he's not. But that's what it's like. He's the big, and everybody's against him, and it's like all these other people. But then why is he surrounded by all these corrupt people. And so it's like everybody's just going to pull whatever points they can to make their points. But it's like what I'm more is look at the facts. And it's like, I thought the facts were kind of pretty clear, but...
Well, I mean, I don't think we actually got a complete purview of all the facts that were presented to the actual jury, simply because there was no actual cameras in the actual.
Right.
We had transcripts, and transcripts can be translated and interpreted so many different ways, and there was a lot of CNN did this, and I actually found it very interesting. They actually did a kind of unbiased AI interpretation of the transcripts, and they read it. From a not only as the prosecutor or the actual defense lawyers, but also the actual witnesses on the conversation back and forth, which we all know the body language and voice tones and all that make a significant difference on human nature.
Okay, I'm going to interrupt this second. 35-19 into one quarter.
That's what I got too.
Yeah, that's what you just said earlier.
Well, but it wasn't the end of the quarter, and now it is.
Okay, well.
God.
It's the first quarter. We have two.
I know, but it's better. It's better to be up than just like have that score reversed. And again, I know it's not. We got to keep playing because it can turn around just like that.
We might actually have to have a longer one here today.
Oh, yeah, we're already at almost 40 minutes.
Yeah, we're at 36 minutes.
No, he's got 40.
No, I have 36.
Okay.
Well, no, actually, he fucked up like 3 minutes. So.
Fuck down.
You did what you did, dude. I mean, you're like, oh, I got the wrong recording.
First of all, is my Pecker? What was it? My Pecker's not guilty.
I'm sorry. What was that?
His Pecker's not guilty.
Pecker's not guilty.
Well, Pecker signed an immunity clause. I mean, that means he did not do something that actually required him to have 34 counts that required him to go to jail.
Well, no, they didn't press charges against him
because he had the. First of all, I mean, this is what a lot of the American public doesn't realize. Pecker was actually the editor of the National Enquirer for decades. Decades. He had actually a working relationship with Trump, meaning that anything on page 6, which actually is a newspaper inside or a page of a newspaper inside New York City that actually talks about the socialites and all this other shit that goes on in New York City, because that's what they all focus on.
Right.
They ensured that there was always positive stories about Trump and whatever woman he was having something with at the time, whether it was his wife or a side chick or a side piece or whatever it may be. They had this going on for decades, is what they had on going. There's a safe, or apparently there was a safe that had documents, not just lined of all the historical perspectives of what Trump did and should be public knowledge was not good, but also other individuals, not only in the New York scene, but also nationally seen politically. And that is really where the trove, I'm pretty sure there's a shitload of more information to come out eventually that has nothing to do with Trump. Yeah. Nothing to do with Trump. I mean, the whole reason that Senator Lindsey Graham out of South Carolina is like, pardon the pun, backed up against Trump is because Lady Bug has so much shit on that person that we have no idea of how we would actually cope with that would be pornographic. Actual pornographic. I mean, it's phenomenal about what Pecker had in. So I don't think it's just about this particular case, about the immunity that Pecker signed for. I think there's a lot more that's going to come out of this case, to be perfectly honest with you. Michael's actually waving up because it's actually 40 to 21. Well, 21.
It was 40 to 19.
Yeah,
now it's 40 to 21.
Hey, we're still up 19 points.
I know. We just got to keep going.
In the
Keep
second
going.
quarter,
Keep making a shot.
So
42-21. Let's go, Mavs.
But on the case today, 34 counts where he came back actual guilty. And really what prompted me to talk about this is I was talking to somebody before I got here today, and they work downtown Dallas, Dallas, Texas. This is a blue city for the most part, but also a red state, give or take. Depending on which rural county you're in. They work for a bank. They were also notified at 3:45 today that, hey, the verdict has come down. We don't know what the verdict is, but we are asking you all to leave the premises immediately to ensure that you are safe and secure in case there are any riots that occur. Now, I know that this sounds extreme, but my point to that point is, what do we anticipate moving forward with this actual guilty verdict? One, before the actual sentencing happen, and two, once the sentencing does happen, where do you think it's going to land? I mean, are we going to expect another civil war? Are we going to expect another 1/6/21?
I really don't. Because if Trump was president, yes, Trump was president when 1/6 happened, and so
Well, how does this affect his candidacy?
he had control over a lot the executive branch.
Well, apparently,
And he did-
to
and
that 30%, he's still in control.
And
He's the president.
and he did nothing.
But he's still
it's
president,
like,
apparently.
But now it's just like he doesn't have the control unless he becomes president again. He might have people that are gonna protest and all that other stuff is, but a lot of those people got
what's gonna
arrested
happen
in
of these-
1/6, and so they're not. The average people are not going to go do this and do something crazy because they don't want the possibility of being.
The next 90 days or before he's actually sentenced, I mean, what do you anticipate with his rallies?
He's going to yell and scream and all that stuff but I don't think
So my question is, like, why don't you think there's going to be actual repercussions associated to this actual convictions? Is it because of what actually transpired between those 800 defendants in 1/6/21, or because they don't believe him, or because he has no sway anymore?
Trump, the only people that kind of have concern are the people that, let's say, the judge, Bragg, or whatever. People might go after those people.
Well, I mean, at this stage, they have all got their own security. I mean, even the actual
I know.
family members associated to the judge, as well as the
But I
attorney
said
general, they all have their
1/6
security.
1/6 happened where it's like everybody couldn't believe it would ever happen. It happened. Not going to ever say it can't happen again, but it's going to have to be different circumstances. And Trump was president at that time. He's not president now. Something like that happened now. You will have the national and you will have the states or whatever going after those people right
Wow.
away. It will
Yeah.
not.
I commend you and your
44-23.
I commend you in your confidence.
And I could be wrong or whatever, but I'm just telling you that's how I kind of feel.
And just the perspective of the American society. But I will say this: 26 states are actually red, and I do believe that we're not in for good times.
Well, I'm not going to say it's going to be easy.
I think that he will continue to actually
He
create
will.
vile, disgusting rhetoric that's actually going to try to uproar individuals who are at his rallies, individuals
that's
who
a
are,
given.
individuals who actually have these like demented mentality processes, and where they think that they are militias and they have a right to bear arms to take down the government and government officials. And not just what we're talking about, the actual attorneys generals in New York and the judges in New York, but also the actual federal individuals who actually are supportive of the current administration, which actually has nothing to do with the actual case in New York City.
But
You know, I mean, we are in a precedent of time, in my opinion, that if we do not wake up as a nation, we could be a third world nation.
That's not good news.
Oh, I'm sorry. As long as my team's winning, I don't give a shit.
46-23. Second quarter.
Anyways, I mean,
But-
there's a lot more that we could talk about specifically
And again-
about this
and
subject.
Again, no, we're not in a great spot, but I'll tell you that the world changes if Trump gets reelected. If he does,
The world has changed since Trump was elected.
I know, but I'm just saying it will change. Change
And
again.
it has not been for the good. I mean, we are on a precipice of if we do not wake the fuck up, we are fucked. So, but folks, thanks for joining us for this episode of Buddies, Booze, Banter's Unfiltered Conversations. We will be back on this subject in particular. Until next time, I'm Rick.
All right, I'm Michael.
I'm Alex.
46-26.